Hi vinyl community, this is Steve the Eclectic Record Collector with my eclectic picks from Record Store Day 2024. First of all, this is my favorite Record Store Day pick of 2021, Pink Floyd, Pianoforte Brutto Netto. I plan to do a deep dive review of this later, as it hits my head bell just right. But it was the reason why I went and got the two Wojciech Mazolewski Quintet records, Live Spirit, Spirit to All. Well, it's Live Spirit, Spirit to All. Whereas the Pink Floyd is a very prog punk jazz album. These two are very much in the spiritual jazz idiom. I think Thomas Stanko meets Alice Coltrane for a long conversation about windmills. Now, I don't know what that means necessarily, but it's some very, very good jazz. Spirit Live is Wojciech and the trumpeter Oscar Toruk, and some different players on piano and drums and sax. The sax being much more prominent in this outing. I get hints of Coltrane and Miles, Keith Jarrett in the beginning, but then they're into their own music, and it never get the feeling in either quintet or in either album that the band is self-conscious enough to be playing jazz music, but they're just playing music in the moment, playing off of each other, and nothing else matters. Now, that may be the ultimate definition of jazz, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. I was very impressed. Okay, next up is the Dixie Dregs debut reissue of the debut album, The Great Spectator. I've never seen this in the wild. I've only heard of it, seen it on Story and Legend, and occasional online auctions going for large money in any kind of condition. It was kind of a no-brainer, as I have all but one of their vinyl records, and I can't seem to part with any of them because all I have to do is play one on the radio, on a record player, and it goes back on the shelf. For instrumental, Southern Spice, proggish rock, it's pretty much it. Okay, then there's Mano Dibango 76. To my knowledge, this record was never released on vinyl in the United States. When Sol Makossa came out in 1972, I got it. It turned me on to all the Afrobeat, soca, Afro jazz, high life, African styles. And even though this doesn't have a big hit like Sol Makossa, there's a lot of really good cuts on it, and I've enjoyed it very much. Okay, then there is, in my last video, I talked about having dinner parties, and these next two records are excellent party records. First one is Ghost Note, Mustard and Onions. It's some very upbeat, funky, fun, hippie hoppishness. The other is a cooler, jazzier Funkorama from Warp's Records, Nightmares on Wax, and Car Boot Soul, all together in one package. Very, very tasty stuff, and I enjoy listening to them when I cook, as I have some very nice speakers in my kitchen. Okay, next is the soundtrack album to Spawn. I remember going to and seeing the movie when it first came out in 1997, and I liked the movie, but soundtrack didn't really register with me at the time because I was very, very deep down the world of jazz well. And but just before RSD, I was selling at a record show when my table mate got up to DJ, and he played some tracks from the box set of 10 inches of that soundtrack. And I was just really impressed. There was some sweet hybridization of metal and electro funk, so I had to snag this one when it came into the store I was working in on record store day. Now, I don't know if the album was ever mastered in anything other than Red Book CD, because on vinyl it still has a two-dimensional soundstage that just is right at the level of the speakers, doesn't come into the room much at all, but hell, it's just so much fun to listen to. You can't have everything all the time. Anyway, so last but not least, very much not least, is Karu Inui, dedicated to the island. Sound walk and music for Saunter magazine. Karu Inui is a composer and producer of IDM music. He's a DJ who has literally taken the genre out into the wild with this album. Dedicated to the island. It is based on field recordings at the UNESCO World Heritage Site Yakushima Island, and was released previously on a CD supplement to a magazine called Saunter. Okay, I like the idea of music imbued with the essence of a remote primordial island that actually exists. And I gotta say, the 3D quality of the soundsmithing really brought that home. I very much enjoyed the album, and I had no trouble imagining what it would be like to saunter around a lush primordial island. And yes, you can visit the island. You can stay on the island. It's expensive, and it's limited to how many people can do it at one time. The magazine is in both Japanese and English, but frankly, I'm just going to leave it there. You can find the magazine online if you wish. But I'm going to stop there before the whiff of art museum gift shop spoils the view. Well, that's it for now. My next video will be about the day after Record Store Day and what I found on that day. And that will be coming up soon, I hope. I'm sorry for this one being so delayed, but the last one was a whole lot of work, and things have come up. So I hope to set up a regular kind of format for videos and do a whole lot more. All right, thank you very much.